What is going on? Let's just dive straight into the recap. So, coming into the morning was very bullish. We had a data high, data low in place here with CPI releasing at 8:30. As you can see, had a very strong move higher with that CPI news release. Coming into the morning was 9:30. I'm like, okay, I'm very bullish. I want to see what price does. So boom, right off the bat, we get an SMT at this internal wick low here. SMT right here, and then we start to see movement higher. So right now I'm zoomed into the 1 minute. I see this 1 minute fair value gap right here. Once it gets turned inverse with this closure right here, I throw my thing right here, my limit, stop below the SMT protected low, targeting the data high right here. That's a low hanging fruit point, but extending it past to 1.2 just for partials or whatever, because I have to have a 1.2 minimum. And with this added confidence, the only reason I took this trade, even though it was less than 1 to 2, was because data high, data low. I found that time and time again, data high, data low, one of them is always drawn to, even if the opposing one isn't swept. In this case, we had an internal SMT in the imbalance that was left with the release of the data. So I was like, bet. Got involved, stopped below SMT low right here, and then traded higher. I was just chilling. I'm like, okay, bet. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, why would I still open myself to risk on the table when we've moved this much against, or this much so close to first profit target? So I'm like, okay, I'll move stop to break even, move my stop to break even, and then boom, we just instantly get stopped out. So I'm like, okay, bet. That trade's probably cooked. And then what happened next was I'm like, okay, whatever, let me target the high again. I did not get the hint that this SMT is like, okay, bro, this high completely invalid. Price has no business coming toward it because we were so close to it, literally freaking 3 points away, and then we just dump. So at that point, I should have been like, okay, that trade idea is cooked, done for the day. And that's another reason why one trade a day is such a good thing. I need to hop back on that, because then what happened was I think I got re-involved probably here after this closure up, stop below SMT low on my funded futures, so not on my Apex PA. And I'm like, oh, it's an eval, might as well, but that's just stupid. Need to risk heavy on good setups, not on setups that were proven to be bad after we got stopped to break even. That ends up getting stopped. And then after this, we come down data low, sweep data low. So I'm like, okay, now, since we swept data low, we're probably going to want to go take opposing buy side, which is data high, still kind of ignoring the fact that price is not returning, bro. We see this manipulation SMT put in, and then barely miss taking data high. Well, why would we want to return to it, especially after dumping this much? But I saw this 1 minute fair value gap get inverse, and it looked juicy. Again, was still stuck on the idea that price is returning to data high. Felt wronged by the market, which can't take anything personally. The market doesn't owe me anything. So throw my limit below the low, and then targeting this, and then obviously you can see get stopped out, and then we continue lower. So I'll show P&L down 278 on the day, and Apex is kind of gay, obviously, but whatever, because we come up here unrealized 530 right to data high, and then now that I lost 270, it's like I lost 800 because the unrealized trailing drawdown, but we're gonna make it work. So yeah, and with that being said, that's really all I have for the trade recap. I think I took a $300 loss on the My Funded Futures because I was risking 500, and then for whatever reason, when the stop loss is taken, price flushes through, fills a sell order, and then makes like 100 something, 200 something bucks per account. So I don't know how the frick or why that happened, and then I made sure that didn't happen again. But I must have just double clicked because it was rejecting orders, and I think it rejected my limits and then filled them without me noticing. That's why I like Top Step X and Project X, just because there's that thick line where your limit and your stop is. So yeah, little trade recap today, down on the day. Technically, I mean, we did have a micro scalp yesterday or Sunday, for like 150, 160, but it's a completely different account. So yeah, and the P&L reset obviously because that was a while ago. But yeah, down a little bit on this account. Don't really have much else to say, down on the day, but it's all good. Definitely going to be limiting myself to 3 trades a week, no matter what. But started off the day great. Had a trade idea, very solid reasoning. This ended up telling me, okay, you're wrong. Don't try to target it again. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Trade recap. Gonna journal it in TradeCella, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully y'all traded well. Hopefully y'all saw this move lower and were like, okay, now we're flipping bearish. I unfortunately didn't, but it is what it is, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.